Communication is the act of exchanging information, ideas, thoughts, and emotions between individuals or groups. It is a fundamental aspect of human interaction and is critical to our daily lives, both personal and professional. Communication can take place in various forms, including verbal, nonverbal, written, and visual. Good communication skills are essential for building and maintaining relationships, making informed decisions, resolving conflicts, and achieving personal and organizational goals. Effective communication requires active listening, clear expression, and an understanding of the perspectives and needs of others. In today's fast-paced and interconnected world, communication has become increasingly important and complex. Technology has expanded the ways in which we communicate and has introduced new challenges, such as ensuring that messages are understood across cultural and linguistic borders. Regardless of the form or context, the goal of communication remains the same: to transmit and receive messages effectively. By improving our communication skills, we can deepen our relationships, clarify our understanding of complex issues, and enhance our personal and professional lives. The fundamentals of good communication skills are rooted in active listening, clear expression, and understanding the perspectives and needs of others. Here's a closer look at each of these elements. Active listening. This involves paying attention to the speaker, maintaining eye contact, and avoiding distractions. It also means acknowledging and clarifying the speaker's message to ensure mutual understanding. Clear expression. Effective communication requires clear and concise expression, using language that is appropriate to the audience and situation. This means avoiding ambiguity and ensuring that the message is easy to understand. Understanding perspectives and needs. Good communication involves being aware of the perspectives and needs of the audience and tailoring the message accordingly. This includes taking into account cultural and linguistic differences, as well as individual preferences and motivations. Other important aspects of good communication skills include empathy, nonverbal cues, and the ability to adapt to different situations. Empathy involves putting oneself in the other person's shoes and understanding their feelings, while nonverbal cues, such as body language and tone of voice, can reinforce or detract from the message being conveyed. Finally, being able to adapt to different situations and audiences is crucial for effective communication in diverse settings. By focusing on these fundamentals, individuals can improve their communication skills and better connect with others in both personal and professional contexts. The differences between written and verbal communication, pros and cons. Verbal and written communication are both important. They have their own unique advantages and disadvantages. Understanding these differences is key to making informed decisions about which form of communication is best suited for a given situation. Verbal communication refers to the exchange of information through speaking, either face-to-face or over the phone. The primary advantage of verbal communication is that it allows for immediate feedback and the opportunity to clarify misunderstandings in real time. Verbal communication also enables us to build rapport and establish personal connections through nonverbal cues such as body language and tone of voice. However, verbal communication also has its disadvantages. For example, emotions can run high during face-to-face conversations, leading to misunderstandings and conflicts. Verbal communication is also susceptible to noise and other distractions that can interfere with the message being conveyed. To avoid being misunderstood in a verbal conversation, it is important to pay attention to the following key points. Avoid interrupting the speaker and allow them to fully express their thoughts before responding. This shows respect and helps prevent misunderstandings. Be mindful of your body language, as it can convey emotions and attitude that may not be evident in your words. Avoid crossing your arms, making dismissive gestures, or using an aggressive tone, as these can create tension and lead to misunderstandings. Avoid letting emotions run high, as this can cloud your judgment and lead to misunderstandings. Take deep breaths and try to remain calm and level-headed, even in heated discussions. Avoid making assumptions about what the other person is thinking or feeling. Instead, ask questions and clarify any misunderstandings as they arise. Practice active listening and avoid simply waiting for your turn to speak. Pay attention to the speaker's words, tone of voice, and body language, and respond in a way that demonstrates your understanding. Written communication refers to the exchange of information through written words, such as emails, text messages, or written letters. One of the main advantages of written communication is that it provides a permanent record of the conversation. This can be especially useful in professional settings where written agreements and contracts are often required. Written communication also allows us to carefully craft our message, ensuring that it is clear and concise. However, written communication also has its disadvantages. For example, written communication can often lack the personal touch and emotional nuance of verbal communication. Written communication can also lead to misunderstandings due to the lack of immediate feedback and the potential for misinterpretation of written words. To avoid being misunderstood in a written message, it is important to pay attention to the following key points. Vagueness. Avoid using vague or ambiguous language that could be interpreted in multiple ways. Instead, be specific and clear in your writing. Tone. Written communication can often lack the emotional nuance of verbal communication. To avoid misinterpretation, be mindful of the tone of your writing and avoid using sarcasm or irony, as they may not be conveyed accurately. Emoticons. While emoticons can help convey emotions, they should be used sparingly, as they can also be misinterpreted. Avoid relying solely on emoticons to express your emotions and tone, and instead, strive to clearly articulate your thoughts and feelings through your words. Assumptions. Avoid making assumptions about the recipient's knowledge or understanding of a topic. Be clear and concise, and avoid assuming that the recipient will automatically understand the context of your message. Rushing. Avoid rushing through your writing and take the time to proofread your message before sending it. This can help prevent errors, typos, and misunderstandings. Technical terms. Avoid using technical terms or jargon that the recipient may not understand. Instead, explain concepts in simple, easy-to-understand language. Both verbal and written communication have their own unique advantages and disadvantages. Choosing between them will depend on the specific needs of the situation and the desired outcome. Verbal communication is ideal for building personal connections and resolving misunderstandings, while written communication is ideal for permanent record keeping and carefully crafting messages. Understanding these differences and utilizing the strengths of each form of communication will lead to more effective and successful communication. Active listening, a key element of effective communication. One of the key elements of good communication that is mentioned many times in this video is active listening, which involves paying attention to the speaker and engaging in the conversation in a meaningful way. Active listening requires individuals to focus on the speaker, avoid distractions, and show interest in what is being said. This can be achieved through techniques such as nodding your head, maintaining eye contact, and using facial expressions to show engagement. Additionally, asking clarifying questions and paraphrasing what you have heard can help to ensure that the message is accurately understood. Another important aspect of effective communication is choosing the appropriate approach, such as telling or asking questions. Telling is a direct and straightforward approach that is useful for conveying simple, factual information. On the other hand, asking questions can encourage dialogue and allow the speaker to express their thoughts and feelings in greater detail. There are two types of questions: open and closed. Open questions begin with what, how, or why, and encourage discussion, while closed questions begin with do or are, and elicit a yes or no response. Clear expression, a vital skill for effective communication. Clear and concise expression is the process of conveying information in a manner that is easy to understand and free from ambiguity. Good communication requires the ability to express oneself clearly and effectively, regardless of the context or audience. Clear expression involves using language that is appropriate for the situation and audience. This means avoiding jargon, technical terms, or slang that may be unfamiliar to the listener. Instead, it is important to use clear, simple language that can be understood by everyone. In addition to language choice, tone of voice and body language can also play a significant role in clear expression. A confident and positive tone can reinforce the message being conveyed, while a monotone or negative tone can detract from it. Nonverbal cues, such as posture, facial expressions, and gestures, can also communicate important information and help to reinforce or clarify the message. Clear expression is particularly important in professional settings, where misunderstandings can have serious consequences. Whether in a business meeting, presentation, or email, clear expression can help to ensure that messages are understood, decisions are made effectively, and conflicts are resolved quickly. Improving one's clear expression skills requires practice and awareness of the audience and situation. By focusing on language choice, tone of voice, and nonverbal cues, individuals can improve their ability to communicate effectively and achieve their personal and professional goals. Understanding perspectives and needs, a key element of effective communication. Good communication requires more than just the ability to express oneself clearly and actively listen. It also requires an understanding of the perspectives and needs of the individuals involved in the conversation. By taking into account the perspectives and needs of others, individuals can communicate more effectively and build stronger relationships. Understanding perspectives means being aware of and sensitive to the beliefs, attitudes, and experiences that shape how others see the world. This can help individuals to anticipate and address potential misunderstandings, as well as to understand the motivations and interests of others. Additionally, understanding the needs of others can help individuals to communicate in a way that is more likely to be effective. For example, if someone is feeling stressed or overwhelmed, they may need reassurance or support. On the other hand, if someone is seeking information or guidance, they may need clear and direct communication. In professional settings, understanding perspectives and needs can be particularly important. By taking the time to understand the perspectives and needs of colleagues, clients, or customers, individuals can build stronger relationships, make informed decisions, and resolve conflicts more effectively. To develop a better understanding of perspectives and needs, it is important to actively seek out the opinions and experiences of others. This can involve asking questions, observing nonverbal cues, and being open to different perspectives. The differences in men and women's communication styles. Studies have shown that men and women tend to approach communication in different ways. While these differences are not absolute and may vary between individuals, they are still prevalent enough to be noticeable and significant in many cases. Understanding these differences can help individuals to communicate more effectively and build stronger relationships. One of the key differences between men and women's communication styles is the way they express themselves. Women tend to be more expressive and use a wider range of nonverbal cues, such as facial expressions and gestures, to convey their message. They also tend to use more emotional language and use words to connect with others on a personal level. Men, on the other hand, are more likely to be direct and straightforward in their communication, and may be less likely to use emotional language. Another difference is the way men and women approach conflict. Women are more likely to use indirect communication to avoid confrontation, While men are more likely to be direct and confrontational, women may also be more likely to seek common ground and find a solution that meets everyone's needs. While men may be more likely to focus on winning the argument, it's also important to note that women tend to be more adept at active listening and can be more patient while talking to others. On the other hand, men may interrupt more frequently and be more focused on getting their point across, rather than listening to what the other person has to say. It's important to keep in mind that these differences in communication styles are not inherently good or bad, but rather reflect cultural and social norms. By recognizing and respecting these differences, individuals can communicate more effectively and build stronger relationships. The differences in men and women's communication styles are significant and can have a profound impact on relationships and interactions. By being aware of these differences and learning to adapt one's own communication style, individuals can build stronger relationships, reduce misunderstandings, and communicate more effectively. The importance of good communication skills in everyday negotiations. Negotiating is not just something that happens in business or politics. It is present in all aspects of our daily lives. Whether it's negotiating with a coworker on a project, with a friend on plans for the weekend, or with a family member on household chores, we all engage in negotiations every day. That's why having good communication skills is so important. Good communication skills allow us to effectively negotiate in these everyday situations and achieve mutually beneficial outcomes. Here are some ways in which good communication skills are essential in everyday negotiations. Being present in the moment. When negotiating, it's important to be fully present and focused on the situation at hand. By being mindful and paying attention to the other person's words and nonverbal cues, we can better understand their perspective and communicate more effectively. Listening actively to the other person's concerns and needs is a key aspect of effective negotiation. By paying attention to what the other person is saying, we can build trust, reduce misunderstandings, and find common ground. Being able to clearly express our own needs, concerns, and interests is also essential for effective negotiation. This helps to avoid misunderstandings and ensures that our message is understood by the other party. Adapting communication style. Good communication skills also involve being able to adapt our communication style to fit the situation and the person we are negotiating with. Understanding that different people respond to different approaches is crucial for building strong relationships and achieving mutually beneficial outcomes. Negotiations are present in all aspects of our daily lives. Even the simplest act of choosing which restaurant to eat in a group of friends is a negotiation. Learning and improving communication skills will bring benefits to all areas of life and key to personal and professional success. Avoid unnecessary stress and discussions and creating win-win situations. In conclusion, communication plays a crucial role in our daily lives, both personally and professionally. By practicing active listening, clear expression, and understanding different perspectives, we can improve our life. Remember to avoid common mistakes such as interruptions, emotional responses, and assumptions in verbal communication, and vagueness and miscommunication in written communication. So, let's work towards improving our communication skills and see the positive impact it has on our relationships and success. Thank you for watching.